Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is MultiPack Mania, and today's theme is franchise multi-packs. For the first time in MultiPack Mania history, we'll be reviewing movies all from the same franchise. Now, I've already reviewed the original The Mummy, so the wife is going to pick a number between 2 and 5.
5.
5 it is. And let's see, we have The Mummy's Curse. We'll be reviewing The Mummy's Curse. You know, I thought this would be a good time to do it, as our internet is totally out. And I really didn't know what to review because I really didn't want to start a new franchise right now. So this one works out perfectly, because I don't know when I'll get around to doing the rest of these movies. So I will be back with The Mummy's Curse. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back with The Mummy's Curse from 1944. Now this is the 4th sequel in the Mummy franchise from Universal. It was directed by Leslie Goodwin and stars Lon Chaney Jr. Mummy Cadiz is transported to the U.S., where his bride is lost in a swamp, and he haunts that swamp trying to find his bride down there in Cajun country. This is the 5th film out of 6 films in the franchise. A lot of people don't consider the Abbott and Costello films part of it, but they are part of the franchise. I'm surprised they didn't include it with The Legacy. Now, one thing I have to say about this movie is a product of its time. It is not for the current generation of weak-minded snowflakes who won't have the foresight and the understanding and the intelligence, quite frankly, to see it for what it is. I'm honestly surprised they haven't tried to ban this movie already. Now, as far as cons go, the only thing that I didn't quite like in this movie was the way they brought the mummy back to life. They bring him back to life by drinking a tea. I thought that was a little... I know maybe they were trying something different, but I just didn't like it. I would prefer, a spell book, an incantation, an ancient ritual, something like that. I would have preferred that, honestly. Only con I really had for this film. Other than that, this movie's great. It's got a great atmosphere, filmed, of course, in black and white, which lends to the atmosphere of the movie, with some great locations and sets, especially the old monastery that is the basis for the film's climax. Lon Chaney Jr. does an amazing job as both the ancient prince and the mummy Carsus. Honestly, guys, I really love this movie. This is a piece of classic cinema history, and I've been really enjoying all these classic movies. I've been going back to rewatch a lot of them, the Universals, the Hammers, and so many of them are so good, and I'm glad to see that they're still getting recognition, and I'm just hoping that they will escape the idiocy that came with movies like Gone with the Wind. People need to realize that these movies were made in a different time period, and they were made about a different time period. The thing with Gone with the Wind is they portray the characters the way they would have been in those days, and there is nothing wrong with that. To forget our history is to doom ourselves to repeat it. Remember that. It's the same thing can be said within our entertainment world. These help us remember the way things were and to make them better. Yes, there are some things in this movie that these days would be considered not right. But you have to remember where this movie came from and when it came from and what the time period it was showing was about. Unfortunately, I think there are too many people out there that are too stupid to realize that. But that's okay. Back to the movie. Awesome movie. Really had a lot of fun with it. I don't like that I watched them out of order, but that was the challenge for the day. So, oh well, I'll go back and watch the rest. This is Bronco Juggalo saying, thank you so much. Tune in to everybody else doing MultiPack Mania, and peace.
Night Stalker, the Day Walker,
Nosferatu, an angel's doctor, a feared monster. I've clearly conquered your ears, bonker and catch fades and reveal imposters. A weird observe, a near-death experiment, a spike flogger, beta blocker, you fake and awkward.